Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego City Ocean Diver Polybag set. This is set number 30370. It has 22 pieces and I think I paid $7 for this polybag. So this does have the supporting the National Geographic Explorers kind of co-branding here, so a little bit of licensing, but it fits in with the Lego City theme, or like the Deep Sea Explorers theme. This came out in the year 2020, so a few years ago. It was available until maybe 2021 or something. I think at a certain point this was available as a gift with purchase, probably for spending, $50 roughly or something. And I don't know if they were doing a specific event for National Geographic stuff, but I got this from a Bricks and Minifigs store, which is why I paid $7 for it. I think I could have got it shipped for maybe something closer to, I would have paid $5 plus shipping or something like that. It seemed like it didn't matter too much, and I did want to get this. I thought this was interesting to look at because I just looked at the Minecraft one with the Steve and the baby panda. That one only had like 35 pieces or something like that. It's pretty small. This one has even fewer pieces, but I kind of wanted to see what's in here, and it doesn't look like a ton. I mean, it looks like about what I'm going to get is right here. So a very small kind of coral seafloor build, a ray of some kind, a manta ray, some sea life there, a minifigure, and a small build, and that's kind of it. But I'll talk more about the value as I go. So and then this also reminded me of an Atlantis set that I looked at somewhat recently that I'll be talking about in the future, or maybe it came out before this, not really sure. But I thought it would kind of fit in with that a little bit, and it's a polybag I haven't looked at. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. While I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, this comes together really quick, so thanks for watching, and I appreciate it. And now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is this Lego City National Geographic Explorers polybag set called the Ocean Diver. This is a very small set, came together very quickly, and it's pretty nice, and it also has something that I thought was interesting. So we'll get into it, and the first thing I'll look at instead of the minifigure right away, we will get to that, but I just wanted to look at the kind of city sets that are displayed here, and that came out around the same time. Now, I believe all of these also had the co-branding with the National Geographic. I believe this one is one that I looked at on my channel before, and had different minifigures, had like the glow-in-the-dark fish there, and I did enjoy that set, and it looks like we had kind of a bigger hulled boat here, which maybe could float actually, as well as some, a helicopter and a shark and a different stuff. This one looks kind of interesting. It's like this underwater sea base. This looks like to me to be like a smaller submersible there, so kind of interesting to see that. If this kind of fits along with that, that's fine. Good to have sets in the same theme or sub theme of various sizes, and so that's that. And then we will look at the minifigure because that's a big part of this set. So you do get one minifigure. I think it's unique to this polybag, but I don't remember specifically what the minifigures looks like for that other National Geographic City set I looked at. So we'll get into this. So we have this Ocean Diver here. This is really cool. So we do have the red kind of flippers down here for swimming. You can pop those off, not too big of a deal. Looking at the top, we have this really nice dual molded helmet piece here, which kind of goes around the back it kind of goes over the air tank kind of part up there, and the visor and the little spots up top for maybe lights or something like that are dual molded with like a translucent color, maybe kind of the dark translucent but the older one. And so those are all, this is all one piece there, and if you look inside you can kind of see that there's the other color molded in there with the red. So that's pretty interesting. I don't think I have this piece, or if I do, I don't have many of them. It's a pretty unique little, I don't know if they call them a respirator or like a regulator, or however they regulate what they intake for their allowing them to scuba dive and breathe while they're beneath the surface there. And I think these are supposed to be lights, but I'm not exactly sure. I actually thought maybe it was triple molded, and that could be, maybe those are just, is it triple molded or are those just printed on there? Because it does look like they're different. It's a little hard for me to tell, so I don't know off the top of my head, but that looks a little bit different up there, and there's maybe just not as much light that can pass through. So I'm not sure if that's actually the same kind of molded plastic as the visor or not, but it's so small that it just looks darker than it might be otherwise. But either way, very cool helmet piece, scuba diving kind of breathing thing here. We have a minifigure head, very, very standard, nice expression there, no alternate hairpiece, no alternate face. I can pop that off. We do have these air tanks just in white there that go on the back. Around the minifigure neck, and I think the way that the helmet kind of attaches to those is very nice. I feel like I've seen something similar to that in some firefighting things, maybe some space things or astronauts type things, and works great here. And then I was really impressed by the torso and legs and everything here, so we'll look at that. So looking at the torso, we have a very detailed print. It's also in some colors that I feel like maybe aren't as common for Lego City C stuff, although I'm not sure because it's not a sub-theme that I'm like very well versed in. But we have a ton of cool details in here with different meters and gauges and different stuff, different buckles. I think it looks like we have maybe even the breathing thing that goes in your mouth kind of dangling over the side there. I'm not exactly sure if that's what that is, but lots of detail in this torso, and it feels pretty unique. I don't know if this torso is available in other sets. It might be, but I'm not positive. There's no printing on the arms. There's actually no printing on the midsection at all, but it is that kind of navy color. And then we do have printing on the legs there, which kind of has this same kind of wetsuit design going down here, which then blends nicely with the helmet and the flippers there, the fins, which is good. But overall, I was just really impressed with the torso, and city figures don't always have like printing on the legs, so that's great. Looking at the back, we have some different kind of cables and tubes and things, and kind of maybe some pockets and different stuff, kind of like the back of the vest or the back of the self-contained underwater breathing apparatus there, or whatever. Any of this scuba gear that is kind of printed on the back that I think is really nice. So I think this is a pretty good minifigure. I don't know if it's particularly valuable or anything like that. Not that I really care, but it would be helpful to know just when I'm assessing the overall value of the set. So I think this is a good minifigure in a lot of ways, and I appreciate the level of detail there. We kind of have an accessory, kind of a side build, kind of one of the main things here. And I actually don't know what these are called, but they're a tool or a machine that is used underwater to kind of propel people around. And we have this handlebar here, and we can kind of have this something like that, and then this like tank-like piece has the kind of rim here on the back, is maybe where a propeller is, and they can kind of travel underneath the water, the propulsion provided by this sort of apparatus, this sort of thing, and can kind of maneuver their way around. So I think that's fine. It's really, really small, not a ton of pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces in there total for that, but it gets the kind of feeling across, which is really nice. The other thing we get here, which I probably should have looked at when I was looking at the minifigure, is this ray. I don't know if it's a manta ray or if it's a stingray or whatever this is supposed to be, but it's kind of a flat underwater, maybe bottom feeder type animal, sea creature here, and this is pretty cool. It's just it's a mold that I don't see a ton, but I think they've used it several times. I don't know when this mold came out. We can like potentially stud this down to different things, for just looking at this sake, we can kind of like put that on there, and then it has a little bit of under the fins here, some area, kind of some different structural things down there, but they could also be like little details. And we have kind of some little spikes and fins coming off the back, couple studs on the back, tail coming off the back. It's not super pointy, so I don't know if there's a stinger there. We don't have a real mouth, but it kind of looks like we might have one, and that's nice. And then we have printing on there, so all of these little spots are printed, as well as the eyes. So this is a nice piece. It's always good to get more animal pieces, more animal molds. Animal molds can make a set more expensive. I think this probably is more expensive to produce than, for example, a Minecraft baby panda, although I might be wrong about that. Some of the majority of the baby panda is very standard pieces that Lego makes millions and billions of potentially and costs them next to nothing. The main thing is probably like the head piece for the baby panda, which is like dual molded with some printing and stuff. I don't know how, expensive that is to produce in terms of the raw plastic material, which isn't a huge thing to consider. This probably has slightly more than that, but this is nice, and animals can up the price, especially molded animals, not brick-built animals, can increase the cost of a set. I don't know if this is particularly valuable either, but it certainly is something to consider. And then the rest of the build is this small little seafloor terrain, underwater stuff here, and potentially some treasure. So this is really basic, using one of these kind of, I don't know, is this like a rhomboid or a quadrahedron or whatever, kind of this angled plate here, and then we have a couple of these slope pieces, a brick there, a round jumper plate, jumper tile, and a coral piece here that's actually kind of in that coral color. It's sort of a pale pinkish, tannish, almost a salmon looking color. I think the color actually might just be coral. That's a nice piece to get there, and you can attach things to it and dress it up, and these are a useful piece. I think they put some of these in some of those VIP parts packs too, in different colors. It's just a nice unique piece. And then we do have this pearl gold kind of tile here. It's not like an ingot necessarily, but it does appear to me, based on the image on the Polybag itself and on the instructions, that this might be some kind of treasure, some kind of gold thing that maybe the ocean diver is looking for or trying to sort of get or whatever, bring back to surface, or study, or whatever else. So that's fine, and that's kind of everything in this set. So very, very small, came together super quick, especially because like putting together a minifigure doesn't take too long. Only 7 parts in this kind of vehicle here, or like this underwater Segway type thing, or scooter. Didn't have to do anything for the ray here, the sea life, and then just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts for this underwater terrain. So very, very simple. There are no extra pieces in this set because there's no like small enough like 1x1s, tiles, studs, 1x1 plates, any like smaller Technic pins. There's only like one kind of Technic thing, which has the axle on one side, pin on the other in the tan, and they didn't have an extra one of that as far as I know. So no extra pieces here at all. And this set is 22 pieces, I think. That's what the Brickset website says, and that's what the Lego Group's website says as well. And I paid $7 for this. It probably, if it was on sale, it probably retailed for $5, although maybe in 2020, maybe it was even less than, probably $5. That seems to be about the market price for it now. I paid $7 for it, and that's merely because I got it from a Bricks and Minifigs, which is like semi-local to me. Support them a little bit. They've given me a Polybag for free in the past, and so it's whatever. There's also the licensing, co-branding with National Geographic. Once this set makes its way to a Bricks and Minifigs all these years later, I don't think any of my money directly goes to supporting the National Geographic Explorers, but at one time that was kind of the intention, and without looking into it too much, that seems like something I might be okay with supporting. I'm glad Polybags are not $7. There's a lot of Polybags that I don't think are worth $7. Frankly, I don't think this one's necessarily worth $7 either, but just because of the context surrounding like where I got it, when I got it, it seemed reasonable to me, because if I would have had to have someone else ship it to me, that would have been an additional cost. And it is retired. It is several years old at this point, so that can factor into it. And so $7 doesn't feel terrible, but I think I've paid more for various Polybags in the past, but I think I'm really glad that $5 is kind of the standard. Even at $5, like the Steve and the Panda Polybag set for the Minecraft, maybe this isn't a great deal for $5. However, I have a feeling that this Ray is, at least in my mind, and potentially market-wise more valuable than the Baby Panda, but I could be wrong about that. I definitely think that this minifigure and the accessories are a lot more interesting and well-designed and better produced than like the Steve minifigure. Steve has IP related to him. They might be a popular thing that people want, and it's a good way to get that character in that Polybag as well as a Baby Panda. This feels like a really unique minifigure to me, and so I'm certainly happy to get this. And if a lot of the value of this set is built up in here, that's totally reasonable. I would say, you know, the majority of the stuff is probably these two elements right here, and the rest of the build is kind of inconsequential when it comes to the apparent value of the set, but they do add to the playability and everything else here. So that's kind of everything. This feels okay. I'm certainly happy I was able to look at it. I had fun putting it together as quick as it was. Had fun talking about it, so that's really great. I like it. Certainly happy to get another animal mold that I don't think I have or don't have many of, so that's very, very cool. So I liked it. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Lego City stuff, more Polybags, tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shape, size, price point, piece count, big sets, small sets, old sets, new sets, used sets, retired sets, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Lego videos. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It means a lot to me, so thank you. If you're not subscribed, maybe consider doing it. I appreciate it. It's very meaningful, and I'm very, very grateful to anybody who subscribes. And then if you wanted to support this channel in a different way, you could do that here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. And I have the Patreon. It's in the video description. It's on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. And maybe consider checking those things out. It helps me a lot, and it is greatly appreciated, so thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.